All right, which of the following best completes the passage below? All right, so there's a passage. We're supposed to sort of uh, bring the passage to conclusion. There is this therefore something something something. Okay, so we are basically supposed to sort of conclude the passage. Okay, because it says therefore. All right, let's move on by reading the passage. Okay, one tax reform proposal that has gained increasing support. Okay, it's becoming popular. Uh, is the flat tax. Okay, which would impose uniform tax rate. Okay, let's say 10% tax for everyone, that kind of a thing, on incomes at every level. Okay, all right. So there is this flat tax proposal. Okay, opponents of the flat tax say that a progressive tax system. So there are other people who say progressive tax uh, levies a higher rate of taxes on higher income taxpayers is fairer, placing the greater burden on those who are able to bear it. Okay, so these progressive people, they think that okay, if your income is high, you pay high taxes. So a tax graph is like this. Whereas these flat tax people say no, regardless of your income level, everyone should pay the same tax. So there are two schools of thoughts. Okay, now what is the author saying? He's saying however. Okay, so he probably is going to present his own opinion. Okay, the present crazy quilt of tax deductions, exemptions, credits, and loopholes. Again, this is a mouthful. We don't really have to understand the technicalities of this. Let's say a lot of these. Let's just take one word. Let's say exemptions. Okay, a lot of these there are a lot of exemptions that benefit primarily the high income taxpayer. Okay, so high income people can use a lot of exceptions, uh, who is consequently able to reduce his or her effective tax rate often to a level below that paid by a local income taxpayer. Okay, so progressive tax, it says okay, if you are, let's say, earning over $1 million, you're supposed to pay 40%, but now this guy has exemptions because of which he's able to pay, let's say, only 5%. Okay, right? Whereas a regular guy, salaried guy, he has to pay 20%. So it is not really progressive. Okay, that is what can be concluded. Okay, so what are some are different ways? Definitely the author is against, I mean, I would say against, but he thinks that progressive tax is not fair. That's the term that is used here, right? So it's not fair. Okay, or he has some logic to say that uh, progressive tax rate is not really what it seems, or a flat rate is can be more sort of fair than progressive or something like that. Okay, he's against progressive. Okay, having said that, we don't want anything that is going out of the scope of this argument. As in, we don't want anything that says okay, flat tax is better than progressive tax. So we don't know if it's better. Okay, the term here is fairer, right? So we are only talking about the fairness, right? So that those kind of things we don't want. Also, we want, because this answer choice has to be in continuation with an entire paragraph. There can't be an answer choice that can be derived only from, let's say, a part of the whole passage. Let's say if there is an answer choice that is in continuation of this first sentence, that is not what we want. We want an answer choice that's in continuation with the entire passage. Okay, so those are a couple of things that we have to keep in mind. Let's see. A, higher income taxpayers are likely to lend their support to flat tax proposal. Why would they do that? They know that there are these exceptions, so why would they do that? Now being considered by Congress. Okay, we don't know anything about Congress, so anyway, there are some red flags here. But even logically, why would higher income people want a flat tax, right? Okay, now one argument could be that with progressive tax, they might have uh, uh, you know have to pay high, but then they have these exemptions, right? So it doesn't exactly flow, right? So let's eliminate this. A flat tax system that allowed no deductions or exemptions. First of all, we don't have any information about this. Okay, whether flat tax system has deductions, exemptions. We know that progressive tax system has. I mean, they can sort of exploit these features, but anyway, let's still move on. So what we need to basically do is we need to pause at every moment and see if where this is going. But anyway, let's just move on. A flat tax system that allowed no deductions would substantially increase actual government revenues. Okay, do we know anything about uh, the effect of either of these systems, flat or progressive, on revenues? Okay, we don't have that information, so we can't really conclude that. Okay, so this is out, right? However, it could be argued, even this point, right? This could be argued with additional information, of course. But right now, based on only this information, we really can't conclude that. Okay, so that's how we need to look at it. We don't want to take any additional information into consideration also. Okay. The lower income taxpayer might well be penalized by the institution of flat tax system in this country. Again, on common sense, we can say that, oh, if the rich guy is also paying 10%, then the small guy, why is he paying 10%? Because for the small guy, 10% is really big, because he's already making so small. So that way, sort of from an economic point of view, common sense logic we can put here. And that's the beauty of this question, that they are sort of give you a very common sense, common true statement. Okay, but can this be derived from the given information, right? That one guy will be penalized, the other guy will not be penalized. We don't know that. Okay, so this can't be derived. Let's move on. Progressive nature of the tax system is more illusory than real. Yes, the author seems to say that, or rather, author is building with this however statement. He's building the case that progressive tax makes rich people pay more, but actually they'd pay less, right? So the progressive nature is more illusory. It's not so fair as it seems. Okay, so this can be derived, and again, that's going on the whole logic of the paragraph. So this is a good answer choice. Let's keep this uh, on hold. The flat tax would actually be fairer to the lower income taxpayer than any progressive tax could be. Okay, so progressive tax, okay, flat tax could be fairer. Okay, they are doing a comparison of both, right? Again, this is another very nice answer choice because they are using the same term, fair and fair. Okay, but are we able to, there again some extreme language here, that any progressive tax, okay, a flat tax could be fairer to lower income taxpayers. In fact, the argument here is about high income taxpayer and how they are argued, how they are exploiting the system. Okay, the author doesn't really say anything about the lower income taxpayers. Okay, so this can't really be derived from the passage. So this is out. The best answer choice that we have here is D.